Jaden, seeing none, I will start it here from the podium. What areas of your game have you really worked on during the offseason to make sure you are ready for camp in the season?
Oh yeah, definitely some of the areas we worked on, just me and as the linebackers, me, Seawood, Mike Short, Santiago, all those type of guys, just really just working on, the key reads, the key triangles, stuff like that. Having Coach Chief gets here, and coming from the league, him being a linebacker coach and all that stuff, just being able to learn and pick his brain on how things he might have learned in the league, things he might have learned at previous schools. So just really just being able to fine tune our game going into camp. Camp is a crucial point for the season and what we're trying to do and get what we're trying to do and have the defense that we want to have. So just being able to fine tune all the little small things, like learning the ins and outs of the new defense, this new coordinator, which is a great defense, and just being able to, be that defense that Tech once was, and we're ready to bring that Tech type of defense back. So really just being able to fine tune all the small things going into camp, run reads, pass reads, all those type of sort of things. So just being able to, get better each and every day.
Right side, third row.
Kenton Gibbs with Locked On ACC. Jaden, last year at times it looked like you knew where the play was going before the offense fully got through running it. Is that a function of your film study? Is that a function of your instincts, or is that the speed coming out from being a converted defensive back to linebacker?
I think it's a little mix of all three. Just being there's so many different aspects that go into being a linebacker, but. Yeah, definitely a big part of it is film study. Watching film. We do a pretty good job watching film on our opponent, whether that's running backs, tight ends, tendencies, whatever that is. But the film study, it comes with experience. The more you play, the game kind of sort of slows down. The more reps you get. So really, just the more comfortable you're out there. Mix that with film study, mix that with the DB experience and all the extra stuff. Just being able to have an idea. You want to be able to anticipate what they're going to do, and not to really react and kind of be surprised by their plays or anything, but kind of have an idea of their top runs, top passes, things of that nature. That makes you play faster. So it takes the thinking out of football. You're just out there playing the game that you love. The game you grew up playing. So just being able to play that type of football where you're not reacting, you're really anticipating their type of plays. That's where it gets you to speed.
Left side, first row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Jaden, you spoke about Sam Seifkes, the new defensive coordinator, a little bit. What is it about his leadership style that speaks to you? And to go a little bit farther than football, just who he is as a man and how that relates to you.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just having him, having someone that knows so much about ball, knows so much about the next level. Everyone on the roster aspires to get to that next level, gets to that next to the league and to the next level. But just having a guy that knows so much about football that you can pick his brain and just learn so much. From just a short time that I've met him, I've already learned so much, things that you wouldn't even think about, outside of football, or the little details, offensive tendencies, why they do certain things. Not just learning the defense, but learning why offenses do certain things at certain times of the game. So you're not only is he making you a better football player, he's making you a smarter football player. And that's once you're a smarter football player, it helps. It kind of plays into the point of playing faster. Once you're playing smart, using your head, you're anticipating. You have a feeling of what offenses might do at this certain situation. You allow yourself to play a lot faster. Allow yourself to play more confident. Just knowing that your coach has give you all the skills, all the tools in your toolbox to go out there and execute each and every day. But yeah, having him as a coach has been incredible. Just him and this defense. He can coach any position. He knows everything. You can ask him about safeties, linebackers, D-line, anything. He knows. So just being able to pick his brain, like I said earlier, and just watching him interact. But his coaching style is amazing. He can adjust to whoever he's coaching to. Kind of how KD was just saying. If he knows how to coach certain players. Not everyone's coached the same. Not everyone needs to be yelled at. Not everyone needs to be. You just got to figure out. And you got to learn the player, and that's going to come with time. He's a new DC. He's learning the defense more and more each and every day. He's being more talkative and just being there for us. So just learning the defense and learning his players, it's only going to get better from here.
Jaden, we got 2 minutes left. We'll get in one last question to your left.
Okay. Owen Hillman, WVFS Tallahassee. Last year you were chosen to be the person to wear number 25 in honor of Frank Beamer. How great is it to receive that distinction as a player?
It's huge. Just being this university, special teams is huge. And that's really one of the key focal points, for us is that special teams, because special teams can change the game. Our special team coordinator always says it's like a play that averages 70 yards every play. That's the one. So just being, whether it's punt, kickoff, whatever it is, we take that very seriously. We start every practice with special teams, so it's very high on our board, and it's always important each and every day, no matter if you're a defensive player, offensive player. Special teams is very important here, and that's kind of what you sign up for once you come to Tech, because you know the history about special teams and Beamer ball.
Virginia Tech, thank you very much. Players, coach, have a great season.
Thank you.